Today on Here for the Right Reasons, Lance Bass shares what he thinks of Joe the Grocer as the next Bachelor.
Oh, yes. I love Grocery Store Joe. He was so sweet, and he reminds me of so many of my exes that, have that anxiety.
Then we break down Demi's big return to the beach and recap everything you need to know about last night's Bachelor in Paradise. All that and so much more on today's Here for the Right Reasons. Hi guys, Mandy DeCamp here. Welcome to Here for the Right Reasons. We have a very special guest host today. This is Jenna Schaefer, our Us Weekly superfan, I guess, is what we call you, right?
Yeah, you can call me that. Hi, thanks for having me.
Of course. So we have a lot to get to. It was episode 2 of Bachelor in Paradise. I don't know about you, but I'm a huge fan of Bachelor in Paradise. I like it more than Bachelor or Bachelorette. That's what Sarah and I were saying last week. Sarah's the normal co-host. She's away this week. But what do you think? Are you a big fan of Bachelor in Paradise?
Huge fan. I also prefer it more than the regular Bachelor or Bachelorette. It's just so much more fun and funny. It served all the drama, all the arguments, all the crying. And I feel like last night, all of the Demi.
All the Demi. We're going to get to that. Okay, well, first we have to get to our interview with Lance Bass. Lance opened up about what he would think if Joe the Grocer was picked as the next Bachelor if he doesn't find love on Bachelor in Paradise. He also talked about whether or not he would host the show full time. So let's take a look. There's talks that Joe could be the next Bachelor if he doesn't find love in Paradise. I know you can't tell us whether or not he found love, but would you support him being Bachelor?
Oh, yes. I love Grocery Store Joe. He was so sweet, and he reminds me of so many of my exes that, have that anxiety, right? So I just feel for people that they just can't get out of their heads. I think he's just super sweet, and he really deserves love. I do not know if he finds love because, unfortunately I was only there for a week. Yeah. But I do feel responsible for one couple in there, which I'll let you see. And I'm very proud of them.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to go through after and guess who it is.
Okay.
Would you ever do the show permanently if they asked you to come and host full time?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, that would be a dream job. My dream job is, hosting a show. It would be Wheel of Fortune, Big Brother, or Bachelor in Paradise. So It would be a huge bucket list. It'll be interesting to see how Batch Nation, receives me, because Batch Nation can get really really heated. So hopefully I do them right, because I'm right there with them. I'm part of Batch Nation, and I hope that they support me.
Yeah, I would be here for it. I think you're the right demographic for the audience, so I think it could be.
Well, it's good. I mean, they need a gay guy hosting, and especially a guy that all the girls knew me when they were 5 years old.
Exactly.
So I feel I'm a safe choice, a very safe choice.
That's so funny. All right, so he's a big fan of Joe as the next Bachelor. I'm torn on this. I'm not on the Joe the Grocer team as so many people are. I feel like he's a little bit. I was telling Sarah last week, I feel like he's a teeny bit he puts it on for camera, this loner act, I don't know.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's really endearing. I think he's a good person, and I definitely think he's ready for marriage. But I don't know how he would handle being the lead as the Bachelor. I feel like he gets overwhelmed really quickly, and if there was a lot of drama, I feel like he wouldn't know what to do if girls fought over him, or there was a lot of drama, or if someone was there for the wrong reasons. I feel like he wouldn't be able to see through that, and he just gets overwhelmed really quickly. Yeah. But I would watch. I think it's always better when somebody has a lot of life experience and is a little bit older. So I would be all for it.
That's very true. I agree with that. And I think you're right. He's definitely ready for marriage, whoever that might be. Is there anyone else you'd like to see as the next Bachelor?
I can't really tell yet. I think the only person so far that I really like is Ivan. I know he has a good relationship going, but if it doesn't work out, I feel like he'd be a great pick.
He's a good pick. He went far on Tayshia's season too.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like people know him.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm all for Lance as host of the Bachelor in Paradise. I also love David Spade, but I just want to see more of him. I want the David Spade show with a little bit of Bachelor in Paradise.
I totally agree. I feel like he was the perfect
He really was.
For Bachelor in Paradise. Like he brings the humor that everybody needs, and he makes fun of himself. He makes fun of them. I love him so much. I didn't want to do it.
I mean,
I just love his little bit.
Episodes.
What'd you say?
I don't understand why they only have him for 2 episodes, and then Lance only does 2 as well.
Yeah, I know. I don't understand that either, but I want David Spade full time.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into last night's episode. What was your buzzword? What kind of summed up the night for you?
So mine's more of a buzz phrase, which is back at home, because I feel like between Brendan and Piper and Victoria P and her supposed country singer boyfriend, everybody has a relationship back at home and everybody's coming off with fun reasons, and that's not cool. So I hope we don't see more of that, but I also secretly hope that the Brendan and Piper stuff plays out more. So yeah, that's mine. What's yours?
All right. So my buzzword is also a buzz phrase for the night, and it's who are these people? I have watched this show since day one. I watch every season. I've seen all the most recent ones. I honestly, like half of them, I'm like, I don't even kind of recognize you from that season. Maybe they went home early. I don't know. It's interesting. They definitely cast it that way for a reason. Like they cast it maybe not the people that you know the most. And that's an interesting, it makes it more interesting because you kind of want to get to know them. But I don't know who they are.
Same. I have no idea who they are. Every episode, I feel like I'm like, oh, this person's here. I have no idea who that is, but okay.
Yeah, except Demi, of course. Demi, I know very well.
Demi's the familiar face. And I know you guys were talking about this last week, but I definitely feel like the familiar faces are missing. But hopefully we get that more this season.
We'll get more, I think. We'll get more. Okay, so who got your thirsty moment of the night? Who was the thirstiest in your opinion?
I got to give it to Demi. I feel like she came in wanting to stir the pot, first with Brendan, then with James. She just wanted a rose and she didn't care who it was from. I think Tammy called it rose hopping, rose
tasting. Rose tasting. I wrote that down too. Yeah.
Which I thought was so accurate. But yeah, I got to give it to Demi. I feel like she feels really different than she did last season. But it could have just been for the entrance.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it was actually kind of nice to see her off her pedestal because she walked in there so cocky, so confident. Okay. And when he kind of, he didn't send her home, but when he was kind of like, well, I'm going to keep my options open, it really took a blow to her self-esteem. And it was
which I feel like is so weird though, because and we can talk about this after, but why were her expectations so high with Brendan 3 seconds in? Some people feel right to me. I feel like they definitely were talking before because he came in like wanting to be in a relationship with him after saying hi.
Totally. You might be right about that. And it also was like, did you really expect that he wasn't talking to anyone else before you got here? I mean, I'm not talking about the Piper thing, but just the girls on the beach, that was strange. Yeah. Okay. So my thirsty moment goes to, I think her name is Serena C. She made out with Aaron, just out of nowhere. I'm like, from obviously we don't see everything. We see the edited version, but it seems like she hadn't even had a conversation with him. And all of a sudden she's making out with him and stealing him from the other girl.
Yeah. Tammy walked away for 2 seconds and then all of a sudden making out. And I was so confused about that too.
Tammy wasn't that pissed. I was like, I would have been livid.
Yeah. Tammy's surprising me. I didn't really have an opinion about her, but I feel like I'm starting to like her a lot now.
I like her too. She's got kind of a witty sense of humor. She's funny.
Yeah. And I feel like also people's real personalities are starting to come through, which always, that means it's always getting good.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. All right. Who is getting your rose this week? Your Us Weekly rose.
So no one was the obvious choice for me, but if I have to give it to somebody, I think I'll give it to James. I feel like he handled himself really well with the Victoria P information. He was super mature about it and sort of cool, calm, and collected. And that was nice to see. But again, nobody was the obvious choice for me. I wasn't necessarily crazy about anyone in particular.
Yeah, I agree with you. I love James, though. I loved him. My rose goes to David Spade again. I mean, I'm so sad he was leaving. I also don't understand why they didn't have him do the rose ceremony and why Wells did it.
Same. I don't understand that. I much prefer to see him than Wells. I love Wells to death.
I love Wells too, but David, I'd rather see. We've seen Wells for seasons on this show.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All right. Who is getting your best line, or what was your best line?
I think it was Victoria P just forgetting James's name or thinking his name was Jordan the whole time. Like, is she okay?
Yeah. Yeah. After she posted, I think on Instagram that she was like, I called my mom Sydney last week and her name's Cindy. So don't be offended. I'm like, well, that's weird.
No, I don't think that's how it works. Yeah, no.
Make it better. It's not that hard. It's just James. Okay. So mine goes to Demi. It was when she said he acted like I asked to be his girlfriend, like I'm some clingy. I thought that was so Demi, so funny. And it was, like I said earlier, just funny to see her go from like so cocky, walking in there, owning the place to like, oh, not everyone wants to date me and go home with me. Yeah. So I liked her. I'm happy she got a rose. However, I don't know if she really deserved one.
I agree. And I feel like I just don't know who she's going to jive with. I can't tell yet if she's going to end up connecting with anybody.
I think it's going to have to be someone new coming down the beach, if anyone. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, so who do you want to pack their bags and go home?
I gotta say Brendan. I think he's really sketchy. He feels really scripted to me. And when somebody tries to call him out, he like trips all over his words. I personally get really stressed out when he talks. But I feel like he's just the quintessential player guy who's talking to 10 girls at the same time, but tries to act really chill and cool and low key. So yeah, I think he can go.
I had him too. I mean, obvious choice last night. He seemed so genuine coming into the season, and what we saw of him with Tayshia seemed super genuine. And then all this stuff's coming out. It's like, I'm sorry, if you had any sort of relationship with Piper beforehand that wasn't just a text message exchange, then you shouldn't be here. You know, and you came on for the opportunity that you two would become more famous in Bachelor Nation and all of that. I mean, that's what it seems like anyway. So
I completely agree. I feel like right after Tayshia's season, I started getting all of these modeling ads with him. I'm like, okay, your career is taking off.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. He's good looking, but I'm not a fan. I think he's in it for the wrong reasons.
I agree. We are here for the right reasons, just to remind everyone. So
yes, we are.
Go home, Brendan. What made you cringe last night?
Demi and Brendan, 100%.
Yeah,
I think the whole thing was so cringeworthy and just really weird. Again, I think they were talking before because it doesn't make any sense why she was expecting to date him in the first 2 seconds. And just the way that she reacted when he was like, I'm not trying to be in a relationship right this second. And the crying and the weird moaning and noises, which somebody thought was a hyena, which was also hilarious. That was cringe.
Yeah. I agree with you. We had a lot of the same things. He needs to go home.
Yeah.
I think, the problem is I don't think he's going to be going home because I think all these girls will really like him.
Yeah, he seems like the hot commodity right now that everybody wants. But who knows? I mean, it seems like he's already starting to get caught in lies. So we'll see. Yeah.
It was a real shit from last week. Last week, it was like the Joe the Grocer show. And
he was barely in last night's episode.
I know, barely. He's kind of partnered off with, I think Serena, her name is.
Yeah.
Which that's an odd couple to me. That's a very odd couple to me. I don't know.
Same. The age difference is crazy.
Yeah. All right. So who do you ship? Who do you see going far here?
So far, I think Jasenia and Ivan. Yeah. I feel like they have a really genuine connection. They nonstop smile when they're together, which is really cute. Yeah. They have real and meaningful conversation, which I feel like no other couple really has yet. And so it just feels like the most solid relationships. I like them together. I think they're a good match, and I'm excited to see what happens with them.
I like them a lot. What I don't understand is giving them the date card. I kind of was like, don't you want the date card to go to someone who's unsure of their relationship? Like for them, it was just like a nice night, which is cool, but they can sit in a hammock and have a nice night.
Who else would you want to get it?
I didn't want them to get it. I like to know and Abigail. I think that they work well together, although I kind of want to see a little bit more of them. I feel like, I don't know. Who would I want to see get the date card? I think like what's the girl who went home last night, the champagne girl?
Oh, Kelsey. Yeah.
I think that, throw a little curveball in there and give it to her, because it's like the girls who didn't connect with someone, that's the ones who need the date card.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like they had no fair chance.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I also feel like there's a lot we don't see. Like all of these couples that are together, like we don't always watch them start. And so like we don't necessarily get them. And so, you know, I would like to see just also more of these couples that don't necessarily make sense to me.
Right, totally. All right, well, thank you so much, Jenna, for recapping. That was so much fun. I'm so happy to co-host today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, Sarah will be back next week. And I actually think Christina's coming back from maternity leave. So very exciting. Just a reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like the video below and come back every Tuesday for our Bachelor in Paradise recap. Thanks, Jenna.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.